Hi y'all! Long time no see. I'm very happy to be back. So a little reintroduction. Hi, my name is Alyssa, and on this channel we talk about mostly knitting, but also crochet and any other crafting that I get up to. I know I think it's been like 9 months or something since I last posted. That is because I was working on my biggest work in progress and now finished object that I have ever worked on in my life, which was finishing my graduate degree. So I officially finished my PhD. All is done. It was a long road, but we're all done now, which means that my limited knitting time has now greatly expanded. And so I thought I would get back on here and start making content again for you all, since a large amount of my time has just been returned back to me. Graduation was really good. I had a great time celebrating with friends and family, so that was all really amazing, and I can't wait to show you all. I'm not going to show you everything I have finished since I last filmed because that would be wild. I will show you what I've been working on recently and what my plans are for summer. If you want more frequent updates from me, I do post more frequently on my Instagram. After I posted my last video, I did a whole series of tips for Fiberfest, which I will do again this coming year. I'll do some updated tips, and also I have, let's go ahead and just do like an administrative section. I have an exciting announcement. I am teaching at DFW Fiberfest this year, teaching one class. It's called I'll Get to That Later, and it's all about doing afterthought heels toes cuffs on your socks. So I think the class is almost sold out, which is wild. I think I was told yesterday there were like 3 spots left. So if you see this, go check and see if and you want to take it, go check and see if there's spots left. And if not, there's a way to get on a wait list. So because people cancel and change plans and whatever. But I'm so excited. So I'll be at DFW Fiberfest this September teaching for the first time. If you're gonna take my class, I can't wait to see you there. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be so awesome. So that's sort of the big announcements, the big achievements in my life recently. Graduated, teaching at Fiberfest for the first time. So yeah, I think I'll start with showing you some things that I have. I think I only have, what do I have here to show you? I have 2 finished objects to show you that I have finished recently. And then I have some works in progress that are fun, that I'm having a good time with. And then I want to talk about upcoming plans. So I love, as I just said, I'm teaching a sock knitting class at Fiberfest. I love knitting socks, and I've never really had the time during a summer to commit hard to the Crazy Sock Ladies summer sock camp, like participating in the knit along. And I really want to try and do that this summer. So I picked out some yarns that I really think I'd want to knit up this summer into some socks, and we'll chat about that. So let's go ahead and kick everything off with some recent finished objects. So first and foremost, the object I am most super proud of, it's my annual, I always mess up the name of this thing. It's like Little Secret Crop. I think it's Little Secret Crop. It's the ribbed square neckline tank top from Jessie May. And let me hold it up so it shows the shape of it better. This is more what it looks like on when it's stretched out. There's a video of me wearing this on my Instagram if you want to see what it looks like on a person. I did make some modifications that I made. I made the body, I think at least, 2 inches, maybe 2 inches longer than what was called for. I just kind of kept trying it on until I knew it would hit where I wanted with the jeans. With where most of my high-waisted jeans fit. And then I never do the straps as long as she says to do them. She says in the pattern, like, she gives a recommendation for how long they should be, but definitely, like, there's a note that says, like, try it on and make sure they fit. And so my straps, I think, are always a good, like, 2 inches shorter than what she says to do them. But yeah, this is mine. This yarn, okay, so let's talk about the yarn this is made out of. This, look at that. This is so lovely. So this is the Yak Silk DK base from Treehouse Knits in the colorway, I believe it's I Will Speak for Her. It's from her Ever After collection. I got to meet Lauren and Emily of Treehouse Knits at the their trunk show during the yarn crawl, the North Texas yarn crawl such sweethearts, such a great team. I know, okay, there's a little end that's poking out here. I need to snip here. I've wove this end in. It's just not snipped. There we go. Goodness, she's just hanging out there. Goodness. I didn't see that first time we wore it. But yeah, this, if you've never knit with yak, it is so lovely. Never used any Treehouse Knits yarn. I highly, highly recommend it. I have some more in my stash that I can't wait to knit up from their Riverdale collection. And their Gilmore Girls collection just ended, I think. This stuff is amazing. Just, so pretty. I make one of these tank tops this time of year every year. It became an accidental tradition. So this is the 4th one of these I've made. I have like a sort of cosmic purpley colored one. I have one that's like pink and purple, and then I have a coral colored one. So this is kind of different for me to have a red one. But yeah, that is my secret little crop tank from Jessie May. I'll put the link to the actual pattern on Ravelry down below. Let's see, what else have I finished? Oh, right here. Grab it off my coffee table. I still need to weave in ends, don't judge me. But I finished a pair of Afterthought heel socks. I'm gonna put the rest of the yarn. Whoop, tangled. Okay. So this is just my formula for vanilla Afterthought heel socks, but I do have something funny to show you also. First, let's start with the yarn. This is, I don't have the ball band anymore, so I don't know what sock base, if they, I believe it's the 80, it's like an 80-20 blend, but this is from Lemonade Shop, and it's called Clouds and Rainbows. Super pretty white with flashes of rainbow. So, and then I used, for the heel, this was a mini I got in like a mystery mini pack from Super Glow Yarns. So that's what this is. Okay, so I knit this sock first. I used it as a sample when I taught sock knitting recently. So cute, right? Like, look at what this micro striping did. So cute, little stair steps. Amazing, amazing, right? The other sock. Who is she? Who is she? I don't understand here. I don't understand what happened. 'Cause look, they started the same. Please comment down below if this has ever happened to you. I'm not mad. I think it's hilarious. I will wear them like this. I just don't understand. Like, I sat there with some friends and was like, they were like, did your gauge change? And I was like, I don't know, because it was fine down here. And then we were like, is it the way the yarn might, like, I might have hit a part of the skein where like the rainbow lengths were different. Maybe my gauge was like a stitch off. I don't know. Who's to say? This is fun though. They are sisters, not twins, for sure. So I do need to weave the ends in so I can wear them. But yeah, so yeah, this yarn, Lemonade Shop and Super Glow. So this is a fun finished object. I show this because I've been knitting for, oh gosh, how long now? When did I start knitting? My first 2018. So that's 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. This year is my 6th year. I believe that's right. My 6th year knitting anniversary. And you would think I've been knitting for 6 years consistently that everything would come out even and looking the same, but no. This just makes me laugh. Right, now I want to mix it up a little bit and talk about works in progress and specifically crochet. So since you all last saw me, I started a long-term project. I am about 25, I'm just over the 25% mark on the labor it's gonna take to make this thing. So first and foremost, let's talk about the bag. So this is, I believe, I did not purchase this project bag. Does it say? No, it does not say in here who it's from. This was a gift to me from a fiber friend. I believe this was from like last fall's like Rhinebeck festival season, and it was from Fangirl Fibers, I believe, is who did these. So in here I have almost all the finished colorful squares for a Battenberg blanket. So I'll pull out, what I do is I make them in groups of 10, and then I connect them with a little stitch marker. So when I go through the bag to count them, I just can be like 10, and it's easier to count than just having a ton of squares. So what I'm doing is just anytime I have a mini or some scrap yarn from a project, I'm just making squares. So you'll notice a lot of the ends are not woven in. So I have made part of a Battenberg before. A group of my friends, we all made 1/5 of a Battenberg blanket and then seamed it all together and gifted it to a friend for her wedding. And that was really fun, and that was a really fun project. So when I did that, I have been weaving in, I have more so been weaving in the ends as I go on the more recent squares I've made, but I do really enjoy just like doing the steps in batches, like making all the squares, weave in all the ends, block all the squares. Like, I don't mind the task just being tons of ends to weave in. But I do think I should probably stop at this like halfway. I'm at the halfway point on the colored squares, which, as a friend kindly pointed out, is the 25% mark on the whole project. But it's more fun to think I'm halfway. See, I have woven in some of the ends. These are all done. So I just have all sorts of colors. I have it written down in my knitting journal, like 520 something colored squares, and I'm at like the 275 mark, 250 mark. So these are just fun. Anytime I have a pair of socks, a friend has, this one was a friend had just like a little 15 gram scrap from a project. She let me have, my friend Lauren. So yeah, these all just go in here, and this is really fun. I will link the Battenberg blanket below. It's free, which is really amazing. It calls for fingering weight yarn. I am using a size D hook from Xiaogu, which is a 3mm. So this is, I really like the handle on it because it's really comfortable to use, as opposed to the standard crochet hooks that just are metal all the way down and don't have something to hold. This is really comfortable. So yep, just all sorts of different yarns from different projects are going in here. And this is only for finished squares. I don't keep yarn that is upcoming to go in the blanket in here. This is just the finished squares. That and the hook live in this project bag from By the Bay Bag Co. This is my most used, most loved project bag. As you can tell, By the Bay bags usually are like really stiff because they're canvas. This one is very loved. She's been loved, and she's held up great. So some upcoming yarn I have to put in here: a mini again from Super Glow, some yarn from Suburban Stitcher, a random gray mini that probably came off a sock set somewhere. So different stuff. Tuck that all back in there. So yeah, that project is really, really fun and really enjoying it. Other works in progress. I got an itch to make some DK weight socks, so those are currently on the needles. I am halfway there. And the yarn is very tangled up in my other things. Yeah, come on. Get off that. Okay. So this yarn, I have the ball band, is from Twisted Owl Fiber Studio. Let me flip this up to the camera here. As far as I know, Twisted Owl does not dye anymore. I got this off of someone's D-stash a while ago. They used to be, yeah, they were based out of Longview, Texas, no longer dyeing. This is on their Twisted Owl DK base, which is 100% superwash merino. I know, okay, so I've been experimenting lately. People have always said, socks have to have nylon, socks have to have nylon. And I am experimenting with how long do socks really hold up that don't have nylon. And these are more so because they're DK weight. I'm gonna wear them around the house. DK weight socks are too thick to fit in my favorite boots. So these I don't think need the nylon to hold up to friction because I'm just gonna wear them around my apartment. But I am using the Crazy Sock Lady's DK vanilla sock pattern, which I believe is free online. It might be paid for. I'll link it on Ravelry, but I think it's free. So I have one sock done. It uses I made the size small. Whoop. Finished objects, come back. I'll get those later. Just knocked them right off. We love a blooper here on the channel. I did the size small. I'm using the called for needle, which is I'm using what the pattern said. A US 3 or a 3.25 millimeter needle. I'm doing them on magic loop because that's how I prefer to knit my socks. The pattern doesn't have a preference. It doesn't tell you. You can do whatever. DP ends, magic loop, a 9-inch circular. I just find this to be the easiest way for me. So I got this one done last night while I was watching Bridgerton. Yes, I have watched all of the new Bridgerton that's out. And why'd they do us like that? And I need part 2 right now. So anyway, I was saying it uses a heel flap and gusset. So slip stitch heel flap. Super cute. And then you Kitchener the toe. So I think this yarn is knitting up super cute. It had been in my stash for a really long time, and I didn't know what to do with just a single skein of DK weight. And so I thought, I have one of my knitting friends that really loves DK weight socks and prefers them over fingering weight socks, and I only really ever make fingering weight socks, and so I thought I would give it a try. I've made one pair of worsted weight socks in the past, back during lockdown, and I really like them. They're really great house socks. I just had never made another pair after that. And I think it's because I had to like heavily modify a pattern since I was using like a yarn that was close to Aran weight. But I love these. They're so cute. So that's sock 1, and then I am a couple rows away from being done with the leg on sock 2. So I'll hold it up better so you can see all the beautiful colors. So it's like a pretty tealy blue with purple and orange, 2x2 rib on the cuff. And then, yeah, I think that's all I have to tell you all about this. So sorry that this yarn is discontinued, but I think what would be really fun and what I'd like to do for this pattern in the future is to make a version that uses scraps, like fingering weight held double, and gives a marled effect. So I will definitely be trying that in the future. So that's a work in progress. Some of my other works in progress, let's talk about another pair of socks. This is, everything is tangled on everything. I just kind of threw all my yarn and my works in progress on my couch, and everything has made friends with each other. Okay, there we go. This is also a sock pattern from the Crazy Sock Lady. Clearly there's a theme. We're gonna talk about summer sock camp. I'm knitting 2 of her patterns. This is the heel toe do-si-do sock. And I love this. I recently went on a trip to Disney. It was so great. It was a much needed vacation. And I knit this on the plane. So fun. Like, look at those. The chevrons. They're so lovely. This yarn is from Mustache. It's their perfect pair self-striping. It was one of the mill ends, so since I have such small feet, I never need 100 grams of yarn to make a pair of socks. If I'm gonna make like a fairly long, like poke out of my boots pair of socks, I usually use like 60 grams, 40 to 60 grams, and that's it, depending on how long the sock is. And so the remnants, the mill ends, are a great way for me to get a lot of colorways from Mustache and not put in all the financial investment, because hand-dyed yarn is a luxury, and also self-striping yarn is so labor intensive to make that the cost is reflective. And so since I don't need the whole 100 gram skein, it's really nice to get to have more colorways from her by buying from her mill end sales. Sorry if I keep itching my nose. The allergies have been so bad lately. I know some people have spring allergies or whatever. I have summer allergies. As soon as it gets to be like 80 degrees outside and the cottonwood trees start like spitting all that white fluff in the air, I'm done. It's so bad. So anyway, this is the front of the sock. This is the back. So you only do the pattern on the front. I'm down to the point where I need to do the heel flap. I'm on the first sock. Same thing, doing magic loop, but on a 2.25 millimeter needle. This is, I don't know if I said this is in the colorway Bohemian. I got this at Fiberfest last year. So yeah, so pretty. Really enjoying that one. The top is, I believe I did the called for rib in the pattern. So pretty. So that is all for works in progress. Okay, so now let's talk a little bit about summer knitting plans. So there are sweaters that I want to get ready for fall, because I've been talking with friends about wanting to be the kind of person who knits like 1 or 2 seasons ahead. That way when the season rolls around, you like have all your beautiful hand knits ready. And I need to do some planning. I need to think more about that. And so maybe that can be a video that we have on the channel where we talk about what I want my fall knits to look like well in advance. So I actually have time to make them and knit them, and they'll be ready around November when it actually gets cooler here in Texas. But for now, what's on my mind, because since I haven't had a ton of knitting time for so long, I'm just following my bliss and following what sounds like fun and not putting like too many rules or constraints on myself. I just want to knit what I feel in the mood for and what I think I'll enjoy. So for me, that's participating in the Crazy Sock Ladies Summer Sock Camp. So if you've never heard of it, I go check out her Instagram or her YouTube channel. They both have a post with the rules. The rules used to be a lot more complicated in previous years, but in recent years, Kay has scaled it way back, and basically it's knit. You have to hand knit. You can't crank tubes or use a knitting machine or a loom, I believe. But hand knit any weight socks. I know adult sizes count. Go check the post. I didn't see a kid sizes count because I don't have any kids in my life to knit socks for. But you just, from Memorial Day weekend, and you are allowed to cast on early. That used to be a rule that you couldn't, but you can. You just knit from Memorial Day till I believe towards the end of August. You just knit as many pairs of socks as you feel like, and you can enter them on her Ravelry thread or on Instagram or both. And it's just a good like motivating summer small projects. You know, sometimes depending on where you live, having a whole huge blanket or sweater on your lap is too hot, and just something small to knit on is much better. Also portable if you're doing summer travel. So I pulled some yarns out of my stash from a couple different dyers that I was thinking would be good candidates for summer sock camp this year. And these plans might change. I might pull other things out of stash, but I just wanted to give you all a little show of some yarns that's weird. There's like a string on that. Some yarns that have been catching my attention that I've been wanting to work up recently. So let's go through these. We'll start with, I did Farmer's Daughter's Fibers, which sounds like a tongue twister every time I say it. Farmer's Daughter Fibers. I always put an extra S in there where it doesn't belong. I did their sock club last year, which was like the pollinator wildflower themed one. This was June's colorway, and it was based off it's called the Elephant Hawk Moth. So it was based off that little hot pink and green moth that is oh so cute. And it came with a brown mini. So it was like a beautiful, just chartreusey, limey, yellowy color. And the theme, so you don't have to knit to the theme of summer sock camp, but this year's theme is like 1980s, like neons and stuff. And so when I was digging through my stash for bright colors, I thought this would be a really fun nod to the theme. Although I do think with the brown, it might come off a little more 70s, but I was just trying to think like, oh, fun bright colors from my stash. Speaking of fun bright colors, I am in the mood to knit another pair of DK weight socks. And so I pulled out a DK weight sock skein that I have. This I got also off of somebody's D-stash a very long time ago. I'm not sure. I think Molly Klein still dyes yarn, but I'm not entirely sure. So you should go, I think they do. Double check that. This is Molly Klein Designs, aka Sweet Tea Yarns. I'm not sure which brand name is the main one. This is on the Darling DK base, which is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. It's 250 yards, and this colorway is called Freaky Friday. How fun is that? This has been sitting in my stash forever, and when I went to go pull things out to think about what I wanted to knit with, I was like, oh, that's for sure gonna become a pair of socks. It's just like neon fun times. It's so summery. I think as soon as I finish the DK weight socks I have on the needles, I think I might go ahead and cast this on. I know it's not Memorial Day yet. She said we could cast on early. It's fine. So yeah, there's the tag. That'll focus. There we go. There's the tag information. Love it. Love her. Love this. So pretty. Look at that. Ah, love. Okay. Next up is a dyer who I have so much of in my stash and I am always a big fan of, and that is Teeny Button Robin. This was actually, as much of her yarn as I have purchased myself, this one was a little de-stash gift from a friend. It is in the Bridgerton, it was from one of her Bridgerton launches. It's called Most Enchanting Indeed. It is on the soft sock base, and which is 463 yards, so it's a light fingering. Next up, I have something else I have previously gotten at Fiberfest. This is a yarn from Fiber Seed. It's their Sprout Sock base in the colorway Pumpkin Patch. This is supposed to do some interesting things with pooling depending on your gauge. I'm not trying to directly recreate any sort of effect they had in their booth samples. I'm just interested to see how it works up in socks for me at the gauge I'm gonna knit it at. Just hit myself in the face with the tag. And see where it goes. So it's a really pretty sort of minty, like jade, light jade green, and then it's beautiful pumpkin orange right there. So I'm excited to see how this works up, and I've been wanting to work with this forever. So it's in my summer sock camp plans. And finally, a skein that I have been looking forward to knitting up forever. I have a skein of Mace of Skeins Monster Mash colorway. This was a Halloween exclusive a couple years ago, I think. It's on, Macy has changed her bases, and so I think she still does this base. I'm not going to spread misinformation. As of a few years ago, this was what Club stayed the same, Spade changed. Okay, I'm pretty sure she still has this base. It's Club fingering, it's 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, it's 400 yards to the skein. I am a big Halloween lover, and something that's really fun is the idea of Summerween, which is where you celebrate Halloween in the summer. And basically it's just like make Halloween themed snacks and watch scary movies in the middle of July. And that appeals to me because I don't shame people who do Christmas in July. Like, you do you. That is so great. I want to do Halloween in July. So this is definitely reserved for whenever I get in my Summerween mood and start watching scary movies this summer. So there is that. So those are all of my, not all, we'll see how much. I'm gonna have a busy summer. I am job hunting and moving this summer, so at some point my stash is gonna get packed up. I mean, it already lives in tubs, but it's gonna, at some point I'm moving and things will be in disarray and chaos. So we'll see how that goes. But for right now, these are my lovely summer sock camp plans. So I'm excited to see how they go. Finally, I really don't have a lot of acquisitions to show because let me rescue the FO from the floor. Goodness. I bought this skein of yarn during the North Texas yarn crawl and cast it on the next day and then finished the project within a couple days. So this was an acquisition that immediately became an FO. So I don't really have many acquisitions to show you. The only one that I do have is my very sweet friend Lauren gifted me some yarn that I have wanted forever as a graduation gift. So thanks, babe. This is the Slub sock base from made by Haley Bailey in the colorway Eucalyptus. This is, I think, one of her permanent collection colors, and I just look at it on her website all the time and long for it because it's so pretty. And my friend was very sweet to gift it to me as a graduation gift. So this has firm plans. I want to make an iris tee. It calls for, in my size, 2 skeins of slub. So held single, which will be interesting because I've only ever knit with slub held with something else. But I'm very excited. This has quickly turned into, excuse me. This has quickly turned into like my new favorite color. I used to only be a purple girl, and this sort of, everything in this family, I mean, clearly we have a theme here. This sort of just, I don't know, everything in this eucalyptus to mint family I have been loving. So very excited to knit this up at some point soon. All right, that puts us, I think we're just past the half-hour point. So thank you so much for coming back to my channel. Let me know what you want to see from me. I'm just gonna update you on what I'm doing. That's my only plan. So if there's specific videos you want to see, oh, I will be filming. I want to learn to sew. I tried when I was still in school and it did not go well because I was already too overwhelmed and stressed with school and kind of bit off more than I could chew and just got really, excuse me, I don't know why I'm yawning, got really frustrated with the fact that I'm so used to the rules of knitting and that feels so comfortable to me that being a beginner at something again really was discouraging for me. But like being a beginner at something crafty, because being in graduate school, you're constantly just running up against problems where you don't know and you have to figure it out. And so I was really used to doing that in a work capacity, but I had forgotten what that felt like in a hobby capacity, to be new at something and wanting to make projects that were like so vastly beyond my skill level. So who knows why I'm yawning? I'm not that tired. So I will be documenting my sewing journey this summer, so that's exciting. If you are interested in that content, please follow along. But yeah, let me know what you want to see from me. I'm so glad to be back. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Take care, and I will see y'all next time.